Hello, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. All right, here we are. So today we're gonna go over IBM Bob. So IBM Bob is a software development AI partner that helps you accelerate your code. It helps you turn your philosophy, it helps you turn your vision, helps you turn your ideas into real, tangible code that then you can take out and deliver innovation with. Bob is an extraordinary way to change the future of your company. And it's a tool we built for you. It's a tool that we built to help you plan and analyze your current ideas, run some design, create architectural blueprints, develop, actually push your code, run some testing, deployment to production, and the maintenance of that code, ensuring that it's secure and that it is continuously improved. We've improved so many legacy environments. We have created so much new code, and it has been a true hallmark of innovation inside of the company. I have seen it firsthand. I've created with it firsthand, and today I want to go over three particular concepts that will help you evolve your skill set with Bob. Now, if we go into Bob, okay, I just want to confirm that we're streaming here. Okay, perfect. So if we go into Bob, here we have a an essential tool. And so on our right, we have Bob, which is where we articulate our code and where we kick off tasks. And I, on the left, have written code already. So what we did here was we created a company folder. And in our company folder, we created a sample company called Terrava. And this is a company that makes sustainable materials for the planet. And within this folder, we have a description of the company, and the description of the company includes key information that Bob can then use to go out and create assets with. It created a glossary to help Bob understand any terminology that is specific to Terrava, so that Bob can understand what it means and not have to go off of its prediction of what a particular term could mean. And this is, in essence, context engineering. And context engineering is a key element of this. We also have personas, people that work at the company, the different products that the company offers, a style guide for how to do well in terms of creating any copywriting assets or designs, and a tech stack so that Bob understands what's going on on the back end. So today we're going to go over three essential rules, and just to show you this website. This website contains a simple landing page that we built with Bob. So grown from the earth, built for the future. Terrava replaces the world's most destructive materials with bio-based composites that are structurally superior, commercially viable, and regenerative by design, drawing carbon down rather than pushing it up. So here is our simple company landing page. And what I want to do next is I want to tell Bob, we are currently live streaming to showcase your abilities off to our users. Please create an HTML file that is beautiful with IBM fonts that explains what skills, rules, and modes are in Bob very simply. Okay, so it has run some asking and switch to the ask mode to search the Bob documentation. Now it has documentation back definitions, and now it's switching back to agent mode to build an HTML file. And that's excellent because Bob has access and the ability to search its own documentation and to even search things on the internet to create new skills or create new rules or even create new modes. And we're going to see a great example of that in just a second. So we're going to let Bob run some drafting, run some code, write some code, and again, the three concepts that we're going to review today are skills, modes, and rules. And while Bob lays out that page, I can start to give you a general overview. Let's see. Okay, yes, we're having some challenges with the Google font import. That's okay. We'll get that done. And so a skill is, in essence, a step-by-step process, a methodology, an explanation of how to do a particular task that Bob will then use as intelligence to go out and perform said task. And that's a key. That's a key element, because there are some skills that Bob will come doing well right outside of the box. But what if there's a skill like copywriting in the way that your designers like to do it, or a security procedure that someone likes to go about that is very specific to your company, or a particular way of designing React components that is very specific to your company. And that's where a skill comes into play. So let's actually open up what Bob created. Okay, wonderful. So reusable recipe. So a skill is a reusable recipe for Bob. A skill is a set of instructions you write once and Bob follows every time it's needed. Think of it as a recipe. So you store a skill file inside of Bob's skills, which is right here. And Bob reads the skill description and activates the right skill automatically. And project level skills always take precedence over global ones with the same name. Skills load one per conversation. So you get the idea. It is a methodology that Bob can follow every time so that it doesn't have to rely on external information or unclear information. Skills make things very clear. So let's go with the rules. So rules are always on instructions that shape Bob's behavior on every response, and there's no activation required. So they can enforce your team standards, so coding conventions, documentation requirements, security policies, or anything else that consistently applies. So it's great for code style guides, documentation requirements, branching strategies, compliance notes. I created a skill that actually allows us to update documentation after any code changes, which is right here. And that's great because Bob will continuously update the documentation according to the way I want it to be updated. And then modes. So a mode gives Bob a different persona, a different set of tools, and a sharper focus for a particular kind of task. So switching modes can go from writing code to planning architecture to answering questions, all in the same project. And we already have built-in modes here. If you just take a look, we have an agent creator mode, we have a UI designer mode, we have Java modernization mode, and the core modes that Bob uses are agent, plan, and ask. Agent writes code, plan helps you articulate a plan, and ask helps you ask questions without writing any code specifically. So here's a quick reference: skills, rules, and modes. I hope you've grasped the concept. It is very valuable, especially when building important things at the company. So I'm gonna ask Bob, hey Bob, listen, I want to expand the, let's just start a new chat. So I want to expand the landing page we designed with better copywriting. So to do that, I would like for you to do research on the internet and help me create a new skill for copywriting that is aligned to the company. So I'm just going to point Bob at this company folder. Some of my favorite writers are Tim Ferriss, Naval Ravikant, and Shakespeare. Can you please create a copywriting skill? Maybe that instruction was a little bit verbose, but what I'm trying to get at here is that sure, you can type your skills on your own. So look, Bob used its own skill, create skill. So it's reading the company files very quickly. It says challenge accepted. And it is writing the copywriting skill. Okay, perfect. Bob says it doesn't need the internet because it has enough information about the 3 writers. And it is going to write a skill. And like I said, we can write a skill ourselves, or we can instruct Bob to write a skill, or we can copy paste skills from the internet and put them in here. There are a lot of different ways to do it. So this is one example of a skill we can create so that our copywriting gets improved on the website. So it's not just about writing code, right? Because I could be creating a skill, as I previously created, to run a security audit, right? However, right now, and this skill was actually based on research from the internet. Step 1, scope and context, static analysis pass, so many different things, right? So much specific information. And something I would do personally is I would maybe go out and interview Tim Ferriss. I would go out and interview Naval Ravikant, or I would go out and interview some of the best programmers on the planet, and then perhaps create a transcript of that interview on the best skills, and use that transcript as a foundation, give it to Bob, and have Bob create a skill based on that transcript, or just write the skill myself with deep thought and persistence, and that would get me a wonderful skill. So here we have a new skill for copywriting. Perfect. Now I'm going to say, now I would like you to use this skill to both improve our front end of our landing page language and align that language to new designs and articulations of what the company does so that we can sell more. And let's look at our landing page right now. Actually, you know what? I want to add some Lucid icons. So I'm just going to go here, add Lucid icons to enhance the quality. And aesthetics of the website. All right, perfect. So here we go. We're using this new skill to actually improve something in our company. So we have some new copy improvements. We have some design improvements. If I wanted to take my time, I would use planning mode. So now it's CDing into this. It is creating its own terminal. It's actually installing Lucid React. And so this is a start, right? And while that runs, I want to show you what modes are. Bob, I would like, so let me just go over modes and the ones that currently exist. So let's go into our Bob settings, and here we are, our modes. So our modes, in essence, help us do particular tasks. It gives us greater consciousness, a greater mind on how to create new artifacts from a different perspective. So you might have CIO developer, code engine specialist, code teacher, fast API coder, PowerPoint designer. So different modes are going to do different things. They're going to have different contexts. So if I just click into Carbon Figma to React, you are Bob, a UI development specialist focused on converting Figma designs to production-ready code with Carbon React. And here's just a simple prompt that will help you improve your results on this task. I created one for creating agents on watsonx Orchestrate, and I actually gave it the agent YAML format that the agent takes. Okay, so looks like while I created that, while we were going, we created it. Okay, no, we're still going here. So Bob can actually do things in parallel. So I'm going to ask Bob, hey Bob, can you create a new writer mode based on the writer skill? So I'm asking Bob to create a new writer mode. So it's using a new skill. And here we go. Yep, it's finding, okay, perfect. It's looking at all the existing custom modes. And keep in mind, everything else is happening in parallel. Okay, perfect. It's going to create its own mode. And again, I mean, we can come in here and write our own modes, or we can have Bob do it for us based on particular elements. And now, well, this is also running. I want to ask Bob, okay, wait, have some input needed. Okay, running some commands. Security is very important. So, you know, I have a lot of, I give Bob permission to do a lot of things because I trust Bob. Okay, so perfect. Change the copy. Let's just reload the page. Okay, wonderful. We have some new Lucid icons. We have some new copywriting. We have, yeah, everything got enhanced here. So we have our icons, lifecycle assessments, boom. Wonderful, simple website. I love it. New logo, request spec sheets. Perfect, links right to the email. So that's wonderful. I mean, Bob created that for us, right? So that's great. So let me just, oh no. Okay, there we go. So perfect. So Bob updated our website for us with new copy using the copywriter skill. Maybe we want to check out the copywriter mode now. Let's just go into our tasks real quick. Okay, perfect. All right. So here's what the mode does. It loads the 5 Tarava company files, it channels the 3-writer synthesis from the skill, forces the 6-step workflow, brief clarification, source mining, draft, greenwashing check, rhythm polish, multivariant delivery, marks every unverifiable claim, and look at those permissions, no source code edits. So yeah, I mean, it's just restricted to HTML, JSX, and TSX. So no like actual code. And so that's wonderful. I mean, Bob knows exactly how to create modes for itself. And then let's finish off with the rules so that we finish off our demo here, our live stream. So let's create a new rule. What do you suggest based on what our company, Tarava, does for you, Bob? I just want to make it crystal clear. And, you know, a wonderful thing is that Bob is not, Bob is in many cases 10 times more economical, 10 times cheaper than some of the other tools, because we've developed a proprietary way to, IBM has developed, I want to say IBM has developed a proprietary way to route the right task to the right model and still be extremely effective at creating the code. So so here are some rule suggestions. So no greenwashing markdown. So without an enforced rule, we can generate content in any mode. So when generating content for Tarava's material, Bob, you must not use banned environmental terms without substantiation. Recommendation 2, Tarava API conventions. Let's do standard 2. Let's do recommendation 2. Let's create recommendation 2 because this is aligning to the current tech stack that we invented for Tarava. Okay, and Bob also gave us, you know, multiple choice options. Nice, I love it. So this is great. So let's wait for Bob to create that. Okay. Okay, boom, perfect. So now we have a new rule, the Tarava API convention, which helps us align to the Tarava API and do this always. And this is a design rule that can be used and can be applied. You could do this for your UI to create components in a particular kind of pattern that your developers know is optimized. There are so many different things you can do. And this is just an example. It's just the tip of the iceberg. So, I want to go back and just review one more time before we close off the stream what we did today. So we have, here we go. Where are we? Oh, so this is not it. Okay, maybe let's just look at all of them. Okay, was it this one? Yeah, okay, perfect. So what we did today, right? So we looked at skills, rules, and modes. Skills are reusable step-by-step workflows. Rules are always on guardrails, applied to every message, stored in Bob rules, and then modes are customized, specialized personas with scope tools, which can be switched instantly. And I hope you got a lot out of today. Please drop in the comments what you'd like to see next. Let's create together. Let's change the future of our companies with Bob. Super happy to help you with anything you need. Just drop a comment and we'll stay on it. So see you on the next one.